It's not easy to get in here. You have two airports here, one on a barrier island in Kingston and then one up in Montego Bay. Operations in Kingston will almost assuredly be shut down. We are praying that, or in Kingston will be shut down. We're praying that Montego Bay can open up faster. But after about 3 days of no power and lack of water and perhaps no cell phone service, the issue is that society begins to degrade. It doesn't matter where you're at in the world. Things fall apart. They unravel. We look at Hurricane Katrina 20 years ago, the anniversary just a couple months ago. And that is what occurs. People just begin to panic, and society does not operate without modern goods after several days. So there is huge concerns. I know that the government officials here in Jamaica are going to rely and have to rely on other countries to come in likely and give aid. And the State Department in the United States is going to have to help. That's a very dangerous and scary situation here leading up as just an eerie feeling blankets Kingston. 1 million people here, residents, and the streets are quite quiet here this morning as they were yesterday evening. Eerie. Back to you.
It's a concerning trend, especially watching as this hurricane just about 100 miles offshore, Robert, is strengthening still this morning. Fox Weather correspondent Robert Rayforth in Kingston, Jamaica. Robert, appreciate it. We're with Robert throughout the morning into the afternoon. So with Melissa, this is the first hurricane of the year to grow in the Caribbean. The Caribbean has had nothing but time all season. It's one of the reasons why we saw this extreme rapid intensification occur over the weekend. Melissa went from a 70-mile-an-hour tropical storm to a 140-mile-an-hour Category 4 in 24 hours.
It was less than 24.
It's a 70-mile increase, though, in a day, right? This Category 5, and it's only moving at 3 miles an hour as of the latest update from the NHC. It's moving west, but it's expected to take, as the National Hurricane Center has described it, a painstakingly northward bend. Its pressure continues to fall. This is the most recent pass that the Air Force has just made the hurricane hunters right through the center of Melissa. Now, looking at the stats, we know that this is a 160-mile-an-hour hurricane right now. But sometimes you will get winds which are stronger, and that's what we just detected. A 173-mile-per-hour wind was just detected by the Air Force. The pressure fluctuating as well, right? It's 913 officially, but depending on where we get that data, sometimes it's not at the lowest pressure. But I think the bottom line here is this thing is strengthening yet again this morning, and it could get even stronger than the 160 that we see right now.
And you're already looking at worst case scenario, to be quite honest. When you have a Cat 5, any sort of glimmer of hope that you're looking for is extremely limited. But having an intensifying hurricane at landfall is worse than having a weakening hurricane on landfall, because the internal structure of the eye remains intact. And so you get hit by both eye walls and you're dealing with the most extreme impacts of the hurricane. Right now, that eye wall is 12 miles. So, when you're looking at the hurricane force winds, the strongest winds are really tucked up against the eye. Yeah. And really, wherever this comes on shore, that will be sort of really an implosion point. You're talking about extremely strong winds.
Yeah, extreme winds, no doubt, for the island expected. And when we're looking at how Melissa is going to actually make that landfall, the entire island is under a grave concern. It's a risk that we've never seen in recorded history, and especially for the direction that Melissa will be moving as it approaches the island. It's going to be moving in from the south. And the south shores of Jamaica, it's where Robert Ray is, in Kingston. This is expected to be a Category 5 at landfall, and it's going to happen in about 24 hours from now, maybe a little bit longer depending on how slow it goes. You look at an infrared satellite image like this, and from an organized standpoint, you can't really get a more organized storm. Watching how that eye, I know with their 5 o'clock advisory, the eye was 10 nautical miles, so that's about 11 and a half miles. The temperatures were noted by the Hurricane Center. In the eye, you've got a 68-degree Fahrenheit temperature. They're as cold as negative 123. Yeah. That temperature gradient is remarkable, and something that you don't even see with some Category 5 hurricanes.
Yeah, obviously this is historical for Jamaica, but when we look at Melissa, just the overview of the hurricane itself, it is remarkable for anywhere in the Atlantic Basin.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a very powerful storm that would be grabbing the headlines no matter where it was on the globe. There's a look at the distance that roughly 98 miles off to the southwest of Jamaica. There's a look at the hurricane hunters. They continue to do their passes, but to know that the pressure continues to drop with every pass, the winds are coming up with every pass. This is really the worst case scenario that you can really think up, and so. That's the tough thing is reality is reality, and there's no easy way out of this for Jamaica.
When we look at the recon, and we'll be showing this throughout the day, this is specifically with the Air Force. So NOAA also has their plane in it. They're doing low-level investigations and scans. But Britta, it's to the point that you had made. When that eye wall, because it's not a question on if, it's when that eye wall moves over Jamaica, you see this incredible spike. I do not want to lessen the impacts that we're going to see outside of that eye, but those winds pale in comparison to the eye wall. The eye wall is the most intense portion, and you look at how warm those waters are off the coast of Jamaica, and it is concerning. But you see this remarkable drop, how things in the center
go completely calm.
Yeah.
There's only so many times that you have an opportunity science-wise to observe that process of both eye walls being intact at this level and then seeing that drop off and the calm in between. Again, I think it's very important to think about tone in the conversation, because when we look at the wind impact specifically, it's going to be that landfall that we're most concerned about, the most devastating winds. And of course, the concern is that happening in Kingston, which of course is the economic center for Jamaica and where they have their most dense population. But to keep that in mind, the tone of the conversation, you don't want those winds anywhere by any human.
No.
I mean, we're talking about a wind that is very hard to hide from with the most beefed up infrastructure.
No doubt.
You take this for an island like Bermuda, we would have the same concerns.
Right.
Infrastructure-wise, a difference between those two islands.
And not just Jamaica, as we know. We're going to go much deeper into it. I know we got to wrap things up, but in Haiti and the Dominican Republic,
We've already lost
catastrophic.
life.
Eastern Cuba, right? We're going to see life-threatening, potentially catastrophic flash flooding, Southeast Bahamas, as well as Turks and Caicos. Those conditions could also be hurricanes or hurricane-force winds. So it's going to be a system that we need to watch, and this is through midweek. So we'll still be tracking it through the Bahamas.
Turks
as we
and
head into
Caicos
Wednesday.
won't even feel their impacts until probably tomorrow night.
Something to pay attention to. In the meantime, listen to this.
Never experienced anything like this. I category 4, I category 5. Last time we had a bad disaster like this was like when I was a kid with Hurricane Gilbert.
And we wait and watch as Jamaica braces for this behemoth. Melissa could potentially, and it really is expected, to be the strongest storm to ever make landfall on Jamaica. Ahead, we're going to focus on Jamaica, the natural defenses that could help disrupt this catastrophic hurricane. We'll be right back on Weather Command. Stay with us.
Even when you're